Hello everybody, this is Kurt with the Naked Kurt Experience, and I'm here playing some Diablo 3 today. So I've been kind of working my butt off trying to get the parts for the Barbarian build, and I'm at like a stone wall, I guess. I've spent so many blood shards on them, and have been playing as them, anything like that in Torment 2, 3, whatever, that I can handle. That it takes a lot more effort to play as him just because he's so much weaker and slower than my other characters. I'm having a hell of a time getting the rest of their parts. Like these pants, I probably spent 3,000-4,000 blood shards just on her. And as you can see, I am now. Whoops. Yeah, no, that's where I wanted to go. I'm now at 548 for him, but like the majority of the players I've been using are these three to collect blood shards, and still haven't found those nice pantaloons. 170,000 blood shards. Last time I showed you, I think it was 150. So if that tells you anything, hooray for me. All right, but yeah. So my plan is to play a little bit more right now as him. Show you what I would do typically in this situation where if you keep spending blood shards and you don't get anything, how you could possibly get more parts. Which is the normal run-of-the-mill way that I usually find stuff anyway. So, but for the most part though, I've gotten not very, very fantastic stuff. So the Sabatons of the Waste, they're not very good. They don't have secondary resists. The gloves, I had a roll crit damage on there. Resource cost is 5%. I'd rather have Vitality. I don't really need resource cost reduction. No secondary. The Cuirass, Strength, Vitality, Revenge damage, which I haven't rerolled Revenge yet. I should in just a minute. And no secondary. And then finally the Helmet, Strength, crit chance and whirlwind damage and lightning resist. That's the only part I have that's really good, other than the Reaper's Wraps that I made. So basically speaking, this build has not been going my way at all, to say the least. I'm gonna get rid of revenge damage real quick, maybe. I'll just go to 20 left on my Forgotten Souls. I forgot what they were called. Me brainy worky no 2 days. And 20. Okay. So it doesn't matter. I'll just leave it as all resist. That's fine. But yeah. So basically speaking, the normal thing that I normally do. The thing that I usually do whenever I get stuck trying to get materials, or not materials, specific items for a build that I want to make. I do the normal thing that I told you guys before. Start a Great Rift, wait for it to expire, let Wave 1 be my, or Great Rift Keystone 1 be my reward, and then do that up until I know that I can't go any higher with this character, and usually I get legendary drops. The pants and the gloves that you see right now that I have, I actually got doing that last night after I got fed up spending blood shards and not getting anything. Or not the pants, the boots, I mean, and the gloves. The chest piece I got from, I think, like 3,000 blood shards, and the helmet I got after way too many. Oh, sorry, like I said, there's always initial startup lag because I haven't really played before I started recording. The good news with the Barbarian set is if you're looking for all the pieces, as long as you have at least 2, you can maintain doing greater F's up to 20 at least, as long as you have an alright weapon. The reason why I say that is because the range damage bonus you get is actually very substantial, and it can help you clear vast majorities of elite packs without having to worry about it. So like this isn't really like a good way to showcase that because it's friggin' Greater F 1. But I will as soon as we get to one of the higher Greater Rifts, like 20 or so. I'll show you that Ren's actually beneficial by a long shot. So that's the reason why I am kind of using this character now instead of just gritting my teeth and just collecting blood shards like I normally do, just because it's not really that big a deal. Oh, come on, guys. Really gonna lock me out? Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, too. Real quick, let me just... I'll finish this off and I'll show you, because I'm sure people are wondering, oh, a furnace, what the hell? I did get a furnace while I was playing as my Crusader. It's not ancient like my friggin' dexterity furnace is, but it's pretty damn good. And so that's why he's using it now, is because I figured he might as well use some sort of massive damage boost weapon especially against elites. And I did give him a focus and restraint that my Crusader was originally using before I finally got my Crusader stuff. From what I've seen on very popular builds of this, from what I've seen in my own kind of playing of this build, even though it's not fully done, you typically don't really want to focus and restraint for a Barbarian Whirly Barb build. The reason being that you don't want to stop your Whirly, your Whirlwinding, I mean, down a hallway to left click once like that, and then do that to maintain extra damage bonus. So I think the biggest thing I've seen actually being used is an Ouroboros. No, not an Ouroboros. I mean a Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, which basically always comes, or nearly always comes, with attack speed, crit chance of some sort, a resource cost reduction, and cooldown of all skills. Okay, that might be a belt I need. That might be the Chitalinx chain, but I can't really tell just from the first glance. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to want for that. So, you know. It's... What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. I'm sorry. So distracted. That's not a Chitalinx chain. That's Lamentation. Okay, Ren can stack up 2 times now, though. I might use that, actually, anyway. Just because I like the stacking. Until I get the chain. Otherwise... Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, as you can see, comes with crit chance, cooldown, resource cost reduction. I had to reroll a socket for it. The resource cost isn't very good, but both of the other ones are perfect. I typically, in most builds, I've seen this being used. And then a Convention of the Elements. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Yeah. I don't have a good one for him yet because I only have dexterity ones lying around, and they're not very good. Like, this is pretty friggin' terrible, actually. I mean, I could reroll dexterity to crit damage and just use it for a little while and leave life on there, but, you know. That's typically what I've seen a lot of people kind of rolling with, and it seems like a very good build in its own. Like I was saying, though, because with a focus and restraint, you don't want to stop whirling around the hallway to melee with something like Frenzy and then go back to Whirlwinding. It's counterintuitive. Plus, a lot of people don't use Rend when they have Whirlwind because Whirlwind just does so much more damage, and it messes up the flow of the build if you have to worry about stopping to use Rend as well. So let's see. Yeah, I think... Yeah, that'll work for now. Lamentation will work for just a little while. Can I reroll this to anything important? Yeah, I'll resist. Because I'm not going to use Cleave, Weapon Throw, Frenzy, or Bash. So let's just... Life for Periphery spent, maybe. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to reroll a couple times. Like I said in my other videos, I don't really want to, and you probably shouldn't either if you're building a character, reroll stuff that you're not going to permanently use. That's why I only rerolled that a couple times. I just wanted to have a little bit more all resist on it. As you can see, though, now that it's 11, Greater Earth 11, it actually takes a little bit more damage to kill things now with your Whirlwinding. So typically speaking, I use Rend now, and as you can see, it's like the herpes. It follows them around. I don't know. It's more like another STD that'll kill you. It's like syphilis in the 16th century because it catches onto their brain and it follows them the whole time and murders them while they don't know what's going on. That's what it feels like. Yeah. It's like bleeding on the brain. See? Makes perfect sense. I'm funny. But so far though, I can see how this build would be really good with potential. When I do get... Oh, jeez, I keep yawning. I'm sorry. When I do get the last 2 parts I need, which are the shoulders and the pantaloons, the typical way that I'm going to be doing this build is taking off... Frenzy, sorry. Taking off Frenzy and putting on Warcry with Impunity to give me back a lot of Fury. The only problem with that though is that because I don't have like optimal gear for him, I might have to leave on Frenzy anyway. Just because I don't think that I would be able to pick up enough health globes and pick up enough and be able to use War Cry enough with this build to be able to maintain enough Fury to fly down hallways with Whirlwind and use Furious Charge, or not Furious Charge, Sprint. But that's the reason why Sprint's here, is because if you're Whirlwinding, you can just click that and then speed up a little bit. But it does waste some Fury. So we'll see. And then last but not least, I have on this one the Battle Rage, just because Marauder's Rage gives me a bonus to damage. Oh, more good news today, too. I don't know if anyone you've seen yet or heard. Well, to preface this, I am a huge Bethesda fan and Fallout fan for their RPGs. I loved all the Fallouts. I've played through so many times. And just today, they put it up yesterday, and then there was a please stand by marker on Bethsoft. Just today, it was announced that Fallout 4 was confirmed. They're gonna have a June 14th E3 conference, like showing of the game and stuff like that. And it's gonna be fucking great. It's one of those things where like I get really hyped for new games, so I generally have an issue with maintaining my composure. So it's kind of hard. I might not watch that at all, and I might try to ignore a lot more of the hype that's coming out for it, just because I don't want to get super excited. But yeah, if you're a Fallout fan like I am, you're pretty excited to hear that that's coming out. Because it was one of those things, it's just like any other of the new games that everybody's all hyped up and excited for. You hear, like rumors about it, and you're hoping that they're going to make it, and it just seems like a lot of the AAA titles that you're really expecting to come out, or you've expected to come out halfway through, haven't really done anything. And like I understand like the backdrop to it and how like scary it could be to have something so hyped up just to fail. I'm not saying that certain games would. So it is a really good, refreshing take to see that, a game with that much hype, that much backstory to it, and that much excitement from fans actually is going to be made. Because it really seemed for a little while there that they might not make it. I don't know. It seemed like they were going to continue the Elder Scrolls, which, they'd be crazy not to. And then they were just going to kind of put that on the back burner, it seemed, I was kind of worried about that. But then, there you go. I wasn't as bad as other people. Like, I didn't think that they weren't going to never, I thought that there was a chance that they'd put it in the back burner for a while, which they kind of did. But not as bad as it seemed like they were going to, but I didn't think that they were never going to make it, honestly. A lot of people thought that they were never going to make it. And just to talk about this right now, obviously, since I'm playing Diablo, even though I'm talking about another game, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As you can see with density, that's my major pain whenever it seems like I record, is that I do not get the density that I so require to maintain my sustenance for this level. It's one of those things where you're trying to get killing quickly. Like this is one of the slowest times I've had at a greater rift level, and even with this character. I was hoping for maybe a power pylon or a shield pylon. Or not a shield, speed pylon. As you can see, the cool part though about whirlwinding is that you can't really be touched while you're whirlwinding. Okay, so yeah, see with Rend? That's why I use it for these levels, because it's so much faster than this. Like this helps, but doing both just another legendary. Was hoping for set pieces, to be honest. Frostburns, really? I haven't seen Frostburns in a while. 16, that's pretty atrocious. Sorry, I just don't need those. So this isn't going as well as expected. I was hoping that I would get more of the set stuff. that's typically what you can kind of expect from doing greater rifts like this when you have a character like this. You know, I've seen like I think the statistics are pretty positive in saying that you typically can get set pieces more often during greater rifts. Okay, but yes, let me talk about my stuff because I keep forgetting to. So I did get a furnace, like I said, has strength on it, life per hit, 42% damage. I haven't rerolled anything because I'm not going to be using it really too much, and its damage is pretty piss poor, to be honest. 3100 is not stupidly fantastic. I don't know. You can get a lot better with two-handers. Like, I mean, there's 33 almost, 36, but that's 10% damage on it. I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's a little bit low on the damage spectrum. I might not be using it. And then I also got more ingums. I got an ancient ingum for once. Has strength though, so I'd have to re-roll it to my dexterity to replace my old ingum again. And then I had this other one that has dexterity. I'm just kind of keeping them because I rarely get ingums, and those are the only ones I've ever gotten. Let's see. I've been trying to organize my boxes better to go towards dexterity in one box, and then strength in another. But then I kind of failed with this pile here that wouldn't fit in there. You can see. So I'm just trying to move it together. And then there's intelligence stuff that I have too, because like really good intelligence stuff like Fierce Gauntlets for the wizard and anything dropped for me for a while ago. So I kept it because you know if I'm gonna 1 point bite the bullet and try a wizard out or something, I might as well have some stuff to start with right away. I don't know. It feels kind of silly to keep, but I'm gonna keep it because I'm a pack rat. Pack ratting, yeah. But yeah, so this is basically what I would do in a situation like this, where if I get tired of saving up blood shards and wasting them all, just like I was saying, come in here to a Greater Rift, do Greater Rifts to the best of this character's ability. You still gain blood shards, not as many as you would with your other characters, so you swap to them later. But you still gain blood shards out of it, letting this character do it. You still are able to switch over, drop the Greater Keystone into your box for another character to maintain the harder ones. And this one gets drops, as you can see. Like you can get legendary drops from the beginning, first levels and stuff. So that's the reason why I do this, is because there's a chance for them to drop them. Like I said, I got set pieces to drop last night, doing this last night a couple times, after being frustrated by spending all the blood shards that I have been spending on them. I think that they need to have that as a statistic to show you the typical blood shard spending amount between each character and on what slot specifically. I think that'd be a really cool statistic to see, so you can see how often you're spending blood shards on one piece over and over again. For like the hardcore guys that play this a lot longer than I do, and have, you know, the top in the leaderboards and stuff, for them it's going to be like, you know, a specific slot's going to have the most, and they're going to have like, you know, 1,000 blood shards, 500,000 blood shards or more, you know, in just one slot, not in their entire set. So, but for like people like me, you know, you kind of want to see that statistic, because you feel like, you know, I've spent like 7,000 blood shards on just this one slot. But then when you tell somebody that and they go, nah, there's no way. Then you show them how many you've spent total, and you have like 170,000 blood shards spent like I do. Then they're like, okay, it's feasible. But really, that many on one spot? And you're like, yes, it feels like that many on one spot. So you'd really love to see that, just to, you know, kind of rub it in people's faces. Like, I spent friggin' 9,000 blood shards just on chess pieces to get this crappy chess piece once, you know? As you can see now with the Greater of 16, since the density is better, I'm already doing a lot better on time for one. But two, you can see that Rend now has become indispensable, seeing as Whirlwind doesn't do enough damage to maintain a fantastic amount. The reason why I'm using Whirlwind, though, is because I do have the 4-piece set active, which basically just means that I'm getting a damage reduction whenever I'm using it. And this Barbarian is a little bit of a weak bitch, so it's really actually beneficial to have that 40% damage reduction going. The other good news, too, is doing all these greater rifts, I have been able to upgrade gems, more gems that I've picked up later. So he already does have a Bane of the Trapped ready to go. Unit's already on him. I do have a Molten Wildebeest Gizzard on him for now, which will be changed later. I have a Taiguk in the works right now. And a Bane of the Powerful, which is rank 34 right now. Which I took off another character because the other character didn't really benefit from it too much, so I didn't really need to keep it on him. So, typically speaking, it is really nice to maintain having extra gems. I know a lot of people don't do that. I know that I seem weird for doing that because it'd be better of an idea to just level up one set of gems and get them as high as level as I can. I know that. But I'm typically not that kind of person that likes to switch between characters just to switch gems, like I said before. I hate it, actually. It's time consuming, and I want to get in and go with the character I have. So my thought process is that since I'm trying to build each of these characters to at least do a Greater Rift 40 at the very least, I'm going to get them to Greater Rift 40s each, and then they're each going to have to maintain upgrading their own gems. That's my idea. I'm like one of those parents that, you know, sits in the background and tells you to do everything. See, as you can tell, Ren's really good. Ooh, set piece. Amulet. That's really shitty, actually. That's the same amulet I have on right now with him that I had sitting in my box already. But as you can see, set pieces are not few and far between. It's just I'm not getting many drops, obviously. Okay, 24 is this guy's max. I think 24 equates to T something. I can't remember. There's a chart you can Google. Just do Greater Rift to Torment level comparison, and you can see the comparison between Torment levels and Greater Rifts. See, that's just absolute shite. Oh, and if you're wondering why this has lightning skills on it, it's because I didn't really have an ability to switch it over. Like I said, I just got out of the box and swapped it, so that's just... go away. Go away. Okay, so we'll do this one last level of Greater Rift, and then I'll go ahead and end the episode there, and I'll bring it back for the next one, which is my Crusader. I'll show you my Crusader in the next one. We'll do some Greater Rifts with him and show you the more optimized first iteration. Ah! He just punched me in the skull. Because the optimized build I have now for my Crusader is nearly done. I finally got a Thunder God's Vigor for him. I finally have a lot of stuff set up for him. He's really close to being a Greater Rift 40. It's just his survivability is piss poor. This is why I was saying this is the highest we can go, because as you can see, even while whirlwinding, with that 40% damage reduction, I'm getting my ass handed to me in terms of damage. Shield pylon, that's literally the most fantastic thing I could have gotten, actually. As you can see now, though, by far, Rend is completely indispensable now, for me. Without Rend, I would probably die constantly in this. And the whole point of this is just to get through as many as you can with the character you're trying to gear up with. It's just, oddly enough, Barbarian has been by far my favorite character set. I mean, as soon as I started playing Diablo 3, that's the only character I would start anew with the most. I like all the other characters a lot too. Monks are especially fun. And I really like Crusaders now that they came out. So it's fantastic and all. But for some reason, I've had really bad luck lately with gearing Barbarians. They seem to take the longest for me to gear out of all the characters I have. Alright. As you can see with the elite packs, though, easy peasy to clear. It's just they do a shitload of damage to me. But yeah, the Barbarians that I typically have been making lately, no matter what season it's been, they seem to have taken so freaking long to gear, but when they do actually get a second set of their good gear for me, it's usually some of the best gear I have. Like my season one Raykor, you saw anything like that. It was hard to replace anything on that character. Um, Once I got the second iteration, like, but it did take a lot longer than my other characters. Like, it took forever to get Raykors for him. When I finally did, it was freaking terrible. Like, they were really bad sets, but because I had the pieces at least, like I say, it's better to have at least the pieces because then the base damage you get is there. Um, so I was pretty excited about that. And then as soon as I was able to pick up like a secondary chess piece, it was really fucking perfect and amazing, and like there was absolutely nothing I could do to make it better. And then the legs did the same, and et cetera, et cetera. So, with my track record, I get really crap stuff to begin with barbarians, and it takes forever to get them when I do. But then as soon as I get them, I can go in and start doing it again. And then the second set I usually get is freaking fantastic. So that's what I'm hoping with here. That it's just taking forever because that's my usual trend. Because nothing in this game is more debilitating. Like I'm not a very good person when it comes to attention span. So for a game like this with grinding, this is all my willpower to have myself at 479 Paragon level, as well as having the ability to gear up characters. But that's the reason why I'm able to, is because I am making so many different characters. I'm building them all up to be able to do the same amount of greater rifts. If I weren't doing all of these different characters, I probably would have stopped playing this again and just kind of let it peter out for a while and forgot about it until the new season appeared and then start playing it again just to see what's all new. So for me, and if you're watching this and you have the same issue I do, where, not including time, of course, because, some people have more time than others to play. But if you're just feeling like you just kind of get burned out playing this, and you just can't seem to level up your stuff enough because of that, try that. Like, if you have one single character, solitary character, that you absolutely enjoy, if you get bored of the game, make a new character. See what the new character has to deal with. Alright, so as you can see now, though, with enemies like this that have a lot of health, the spam rend on them works, especially now I can stack it twice. Oh, I got nothing that time. That's shit. The spam rend on them works well and everything, but it's typically slower, a lot slower. Oh man, so that's ending on a shitty, sour, low note. But you can finally see that I'm not making it up when I say that for the most part, you do have to work to get what you want out of this. I have the recording luck, like I've been telling you before, so that's why whenever you see me play, I'll get drops that I need, like while I'm on camera. That's recording luck. But it was good to show you guys that finally I didn't get everything right off the bat just to show you, oh, this is how it works. Because you do have to face disappointment in this game too. That's just how it works. So it's good that this finally popped up so you guys can see that, so I wasn't just blowing smoke at my ass. So anyway, that'll about do it for this episode, guys. Like I said, I'm the typical back-to-back recording. So in the next one, I'll show you the Crusader and talk about that a little bit and continue these great rifts. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we will see you in the next one.